Hello everyone. Today I would like to give you some precisions about the paper and what is expected with these papers. So, number one, you have a description of what the paper should contain in the catalog. To me, what's very important with the paper is the dialogue that will follow your posting of the first draft. So the sooner I get that draft, the better for this dialogue to take place. Then question number one is how to select a work of art. Well, what you need to do is, and I would definitely recommend that you would select a work of art that is well documented. And ideally, it should be a work of art to which you have a direct access. If not, you need to make sure that you have enough documentation about this work of art, videos and pictures, so that you can actually imagine what exactly would be the experience of interacting with this work of art. So you can select works of art that are in the book, but also works of art that are presented in the online companion of the book. The address of this companion is in the syllabus, so you have a broader choice for that. So what the paper should be and not be, it should not be a summary of the readings of what in the chapter that you are studying. What I really want to read is your own exploration of the work of art within the conceptual concept of the chapter. So I will try to explain this better. And it needs to talk about you and about your own experience. So let's say I will pretend that I am a student. I am obsessed by two things, sound and time. And I will use this bias to read the associated papers to the chapters and to select the work of art. So for example, one thing, so when I read the title of the first chapter, it's motion, duration, illumination. So I would jump on the term duration. And then I will match that with my concern. For example, today I think that there is a dangerous acceleration of time. And I think that the time that should be dedicated to contemplation is gone. So I will be using that bias to look for works of art. And I think I will pick a work by Flaven or Pierre Huyghe or Olafur Eliasson, and I will try to read that work of art and to understand my reaction to this work of art into that concept. So for example, I will assign an objective to my paper. And the objective of that paper would be to show how, let's say, the work of Pierre Huyghe establishes a sense of duration and opens up a temporal dimension for contemplation, while being at the same time a work of art that is fully engaged in the process of acceleration of time of the typical of the 21st century. And I think it's important, you need to, for your paper, all the time assign a clear, simple objective for that paper. Okay, the goal of the paper is not the entire explanation of the work of art or the summary of the concepts presented in the chapter and in the papers and all of that. It's really trying to answer a question, your question, the question that you may have when you're considering this work of art. And these are very subjective questions. For example, why don't I like this work of art? Why is there something that I cannot connect with in this work of art? So you start always with a bias, and then you push that bias to try to understand what is at the core of it and what keeps you from, for example, engaging with this work of art. And you need to relate that very tightly to the work of art itself. You always need to go back to the work of art and to find exactly within the work of art what is creating the reactions that you describe. And so what I would recommend is go ahead for the first paper, feel free to be completely subjective, and that way we can start a discussion. Don't try to shoot for a typical objective scholarly paper. And I think that's all I can say at the moment about this.